I just finished Morvern Callar, the book, and it's for half and half shorts. So I'm watching the movie at the minute, and the movie is so 90s. Like, they came out in 2002, but like it's proper 90s. And it's really arty and weird. But like, the one thing sort of I find most annoying about movie adaptations of books is that the movies always feel like they need to be way more obvious about stuff. Like, you can't have, I don't know, subtle nuance. Like, film directors don't trust the people watching their films to like take things in subtly. They have to be really obvious. So like the death note or whatever, like the boyfriend kills himself and he leaves a death note. In the book, it was just basically like, sorry, here's my novel, send it out, like that. But the death letter on the movie is like, I love you, I wrote this for you, um, I've left some money for the funeral and everything like that. And it's like, well, obviously, with that knowledge, now you know that she's not actually going to bury him. She's going to chop him up into little pieces and like put in places. Because if she buries him, then she has to use the money for that instead of using the money for other things. Like, you know, in the book, it was sort of more subtle. Like, oh, why is she, you know, not just calling the police and like having him taken away and having like a proper burial and a funeral and everything like that. Oh, he's got money, blah, blah, blah. Like maybe she wants to stand a flat. Like you have to sort of come up with these things on your own. Whereas the movie just pushes you in that direction, which is stupid, but whatever. Also, the friend, like Morvern Callar's friend, gets with her boyfriend. And in the book, it was a bit of a shock. Like, it sort of came round and she sort of said, oh, I've done something really bad, blah, 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 this is what's happened. I was like, what? But here in the movie, it's like, they're being way more obvious about it. Like, the friend is like, oh, did he say something about me? Oh, maybe he's written about me. Oh, do you think this argument is about me? You know, and if I'd seen this without reading the book, I still would have been like, oh, she's a bit too interested in that. Like, clearly they've done some stuff, you know, clearly she's cheated with him. It's just way more obvious and annoying. Okay, and the main actor in this is Samantha Morton. And I don't mind Samantha Morton. Like, she's in a lot of BBC type things. But I think she only really has one look. Like, she plays Queens of England a lot of the time. Like, sort of, I think she was in one about Queen Elizabeth and one about, like, another Queen of England. I think she's also in, like, Jane Austen period drama type things. And that's, like, her thing. And anytime you try to push her out of that into something else, she just takes that with her and she's like a Jane Austen character wherever she is and whatever movie she's in. Like at the minute, you couldn't get a movie far enough from that. You know, they're supposed to be sort of Highland Scottish teenagers or sort of early 20s Highland Scotland. And she's just sort of not even tried the accent. I think what happened is they sort of cast her for this and they were like, can you do a Highland accent? And she was like, no. And they were like, okay, you can just be from somewhere else then. Okay, I think the ending though on the movie might be better, I think, than the ending on the book. Like the ending in the book was weird, like, you know, no spoilers, but I didn't like it. And the movie sort of ends right before the weirdness. Like it hasn't, like it's taken off the weirdness. Like they also thought that's weird, so they took it off and just ended it. I thought that was better. Also, I quite like the sort of, I don't know, sort of wandering, sort of cinematic dream like quality to the movie. Like I like a movie like that. So that was good, but no, the book was better and that's annoying. I am temporarily disabled and super depressed. Like, I'm really anxious about not being able to go anywhere, not being able to sort of get Spud from school, so she can't go to like cheerleading or anything. I can't go into the office, even though I haven't been in the office for ages, so I can't sort of see everyone. I can't do my normal stuff where I go and just get shopping. I'm out of coffee, so I just go get coffee, blah blah blah, take the dog out. I'm just stuck in the house. Also now, I'm really worried about, like, I was supposed to run this race on the 1st of October, and I don't know how that's gonna go. Like, it'll probably be fixed by then, but like my training will all be messed up. Like I won't have run for 3 weeks. Like I don't know if I'll finish the race. James and Anman and Maisie and I are supposed to go on vacation at the end of this week, and it's like basically a walking vacation. Like it's not, you know, it's in the middle of nowhere. Like if I can't walk, that's gonna basically ruin it and like be a huge waste of money and a huge disappointment for everyone. I'm just generally feeling sorry for myself. Like my aunt texted me this morning to sort of say stuff that I can do, like when to ice it exactly and like when to keep it up, and like to do this thing where I sort of stretch my ankle every once in a while, where I do like alphabet in the air with my toes, and that's good direction. I should have just called her when this happened, because I should have done this ages ago, obviously. And now I'm depressed at myself for that, for not thinking, obviously I should have done that. But on the upside, today's book is an audiobook, and it's a spicy one, which is just what I need. It's Once Upon a Winter's Eve by Tessa Dare. So I read another Tessa Dare once, like something about a duke, I think. And this is sort of a similar one. I'm only a little bit into it. I've only just sort of recently started it. But we have a woman who was disappointed by a previous marriage contract situation. Like she was let down by someone in the marriage department, and now she's, you know, depressed and on the shelf and a spinster. And now this like guy, this like soldier guy, is injured, and he's just fallen in to her path and grabbed her skirts. And now I don't know what's gonna happen. She maybe needs to care for him, you know? Don't know. We'll see. Also, all that work I was doing to fix my Spotify, to make it cooler just in time for the wrap up, and make it so that it's not just my sad 90s country era. It's all shot to hell. I'm firmly back in my 90s country situation. Like, that's just my life for this year. Sad 90s country is just 2023 is the sad 90s country year.
The stranger began to tremble violently. Words spilled from his bluish lips. He muttered a steady stream of words in a foreign tongue. Rycliffe frowned. What language is that? Not English, not French. Violet will know, Susanna said. She knows every language.
Okay, so our guy, right? The guy who's collapsed in front of our main character, her name's Violet. He's not a soldier. It turns out he's a farmer from France who's washed up on the shores of England in his boat. It's sort of crashed on the rocks. And he keeps saying in Breton, okay, that his name is blah blah blah, and he's a poor farmer from Brittany. And Violet knows that he's saying this because she's a polyglot, apparently. She loves languages, it's her hobby, she loves to learn them, she speaks loads, and Breton is one of the ones that she speaks. So she's like a working knowledge, roughly, of Celtic languages, like Cornish, Welsh, Breton, etc. Like, I highly suspect that our narrator, or like our reader person, is not pronouncing Breton words correctly, but to be fair, I don't know, so that's probably fine. I don't even care. I might actually Google some of it later though, because apparently, like, Cornish and Breton, they're sort of mutually intelligible to Welsh. So, like, if someone's speaking Welsh to someone and they're speaking Breton back, like, I guess I've heard that those two people would be able to understand each other, but like sort of, I don't know, Swedish and Norwegian. That is Swedish and Norwegian, right? Or Swedish and Danish? Or maybe all three? They're all, like, roughly mutually intelligible, right? Does anyone know this? I'll Google it later. Anyway, he's a Breton farmer. And as she's trying to speak to him, get information out of him, and they're, like, you know, seeing to his wounds because he sort of crashed and he's, like, wounded and stuff like that, she sort of looks at him and she thinks, oh, I know him from somewhere. I can't quite place it. And then she thinks, holy crap. He looks loads like the disappointment, like this guy who, like, disappointed her in, like, their marriage thing. Like, he sort of, like, did the dirty with her, but then left and didn't marry her, right? She's like, he looks just like him. But of course it's not him. This is, like, a Breton farmer. Okay, spoiler alert, right? Like, if you want to read this book, I'd recommend it if you're into this kind of thing, okay? It's going pretty well. If you're interested in that and you don't want to hear, okay, like, cover your ears. I'll give you, like, a sec. Okay, ready? So, it is that guy, obviously it was gonna be that guy. It's this English guy. He's like the lord of something, 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 something. Violet, our girl, she grew up with him. They grew up next door to each other. They were like friends. They knew each other, blah, blah, blah. He's a bit of a rake, okay? Because he's a lord something, something. He throws his dick around, okay? And one time at a party, he was like with this strumpet type girl, okay? And she said, you can't get with me because I know that you're just going to get with me and then you're going to mess about and then you're going to go and you're going to marry a girl like her. And he like pointed at Violet and he was like, Violet, gross. And then the next day he was like, actually, I quite like Violet. In that way. In the dirty way. I want to do it with her. So he starts to hang out loads with her. Becomes her shadow, right? Turns out he also likes languages. So they play little language games with each other. They do accent games with each other. He tries to say something and says, oh, what language is that? And she tries to guess what the language is. Blah, blah, blah. Very cute. All very cute. His brother dies in the war. Okay, there's some Napoleon shiz going on at the minute. So he was killed like in France or by the French at sea, whatever. He dies, okay? And now our guy, he starts to think, holy crap, I need to be part of the war effort. So because he's so good with languages and accents, etc., he becomes a spy. They set him up in France as a Breton farmer and he just basically does spy shit. But right before he sets off, right, he knows he's going to ship off in the morning and he's like, I may never come back. So he invites her up to his room to look at some books, right? They do the dirty disco. She goes home. He ships off, sends a letter back, says he's gone to the West Indies. She's like, this is such a disappointment. I'm so ruined. She goes to this place called Spindle's Cove, which is sometimes called Spinster's Cove for soiled women. And that's where she's been for a year. But now her parents are like, enough of this. This is dumb, okay? Nobody knows now that you're a soiled woman. You need to come home. You need to find a husband. And that's when our guy shows up. He gets word, okay, that this woman that he's super into, who he did the dirty disco with, is going to be married off to somebody else. And now he's pissed. So he washes up on the shores and says, oh, I'm a Breton farmer, blah, blah, blah. But really, he's got to stop her getting married. And that's where we're at the minute, which is pretty good. You know, it's a pretty good book. I'm enjoying it. I think, though, that I'm getting close to the end. I think I don't have that much of this audiobook left. So, like, you know, when are they going to do the sex? Like, I didn't just, you know, pick up this book for the kissing. Obviously. Like, we're running out of time. Like, get on it, y'all. Ugh. James stole me, like, a spare meal that they did at his, like, work event. And it's, like, from this Indian place. Also, dinner. Things are looking up. Ooh, that smells nice. Oh my god. I just wobbled up the stairs like a penguin. I'm so out of breath. I'm already so unfit. But I finished it. Yay! And I think I'm gonna go with 4 stars. Like, I was thinking of giving it 3 stars, you know, because this is like super cheesy and like hard-hitting literature. It is not. But I thought, no, that's stupid. Okay, because I enjoyed it way more than a 3-star book. Based on pure enjoyment, 4 stars. Definitely. So I'm gonna go with 4 stars. Spoiler alert, they did have the sex. And it has improved my day. I think it says it's like a 1.5 or like 2.5 or something in the series, which tells me that there's a series. So I will probably read more of those and enjoy them. Update on my ankle. It's still hideous. But this morning, it was like, oops, shit. It was like huge. And couldn't walk on it. It was just hideous. And now I've been doing that thing that my aunt was like, do the alphabets. You know, with your toes. And I can totally do it. Like, this is a huge improvement from this morning. So I'm less worried than I was. Also, I've had beer and stolen free curry. And I read a book where people got it own. And it was good. Okay, tomorrow's book, which I may start now. Or tonight, anyway, because I finished today's book so much earlier than I normally finish it. I think just basically not being able to go running, or take my kid to and from school, or go shopping, or take the dog out, or get coffee, or generally mess about and dance in the kitchen. Like, turns out when there's nothing left to do but reading, I do a lot of good reading. Like, oh no. Anyway, it is 19 Claws and a Blackbird by Augustina Bastarrica. Anyone wants to correct my pronunciation of that name, please do. I'm here for it. This is short stories and a breathtaking dive into human monstrousness from a master of contemporary horror. I don't know how I feel about this one because I think I tried to read Tenders the Flesh, the first one by this author, and I don't think I liked it. However, I've heard such good things about this one that I just thought I'd give this one a go. But I'm gonna let myself be fully open to DNFing for this for tomorrow. I have plenty of books left in this category. I think it's the ripped shorts category. Either that or the later Hosen category. Like, definitely this book that does this category. I have loads for that category. So if I'm not loving it, I'm not married to it. I'll just ditch it for the next one on the list. But we'll see. If you've gotten this far, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know. How are things going? Okay, loving hearing about the books that you're reading for Shorty Sept because those are going straight on my list. For real. Also, you know, how's your weather? What's the outside like? Okay, I haven't seen it all day. I'm starting to forget what it looked like. You know, talk me through going into the outside. And I think that's it. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye bye bye.